What's up, everybody? It's McNaughty back with another video. Now, I know what you're gonna ask. How are you able to create content right now, given that you just had a new baby? And all I gotta say is don't ask questions that you don't want answers to. Just accept it. Now, I'm gonna hop on to the McLast Place account here and do a couple dailies because I have a couple minutes here and there to try these out. And this week it's going to be at the Red Bull Ring in Group 3 cars for 6 laps, which actually turns out to be the perfect amount of laps for a daily B. Not too short, not too long. I do have to say, shout out to Sugar Shuffles for making this Porsche livery for me. I knew that I was going to have to try it out sometime, so why not now? First thing on Monday morning, new daily races, new carnage. So we're going to hop right in here to my first race of the day. Have some friends of the channel, Island Grown and Gran Turismo. I'm not expecting to be able to catch up to them. For one reason, I'm starting in 16th place. Well, I'm technically 15th now, but I'm going to hand the position back to T. Fernandez behind me at the start of the race, as I customarily do with this account. So I'm not expecting to catch up to them because I'm starting from the back, but I'm also not expecting to catch up to them because I didn't do any practice before this race. I just hopped in cold. So I'm going to let Fernandez by, and already at turn 1 you can see the carnage as the pink Porsche is off trying to rejoin the track and takes out the blue car there and gets a 5-second penalty for it. So it's good to know that in my time away from Gran Turismo 7, the penalty system is still broken. Now, there's quite a bit of smoke going into turn 1, and I can pretty much anticipate that there's going to be contact, and if you're just patient enough, the positions will come, especially at turns 3, the top of the hill, and turn 4, the bottom of this hill coming up. There's always a collision and always people trying to dive bomb and ending up in the sand, as the car to my right does just there. Now already halfway through the lap, up to P11, and this is the part where you got to be really careful not to understeer off the track and get a track limits penalty. Now already we're making good progress as I'm gaining on Fernandez here, who started P16, up to 10th with 2 corners to go in the first lap. So making good progress, only 8.2 seconds behind the leader. Going into the final corner, trying to get a good exit there, utilize all of the track. And looking ahead, I can see Andy has a 1-second penalty. That's going to be a position gain as long as I can keep it clean. And you can already see going into turn 1, which is one of the more difficult turns to not lose the car. I'm gaining on the both of them. Now, there's not enough room on track to get past the 2 of them, so I'm just going to bump draft Dale Earnhardt here, the Canadian Dale Earnhardt, and hopefully not get pushed off, but it doesn't look like Andy was going to let me be there on the outside. So going down the hill into the next heavy braking zone, I just slide in behind because I figure that with this penalty, I'm going to be able to pass him anyway as long as I stay relatively close. Now skipping a bit forward here to the exit of turn 6, I believe? No, 7. He serves his penalty, and I go ahead and inherit 8th place. Skipping ahead to the beginning of lap 3, Dale Earnhardt has another shaky turn 1, as do I, but I have the run. So the question is the slipstream strong enough for me to get by? I pull to the inside, brake at the 100-meter mark, down to first. Keep it tight because I know he's on the outside, and I just about get the move done as he lost a little bit of control exiting turn 3. Fast forwarding here to turn 4, I have P6 and P5 within my sights, so I'm thinking this would be an incredible achievement to get from last place on the grid to P5 over the course of 6 laps. But I guess I was exactly 1 pixel over track limits, and the penalty system assigns me a half-second penalty as a result. So I'm going to have to serve this penalty here, although I'm a little bit closer to P6. It's going to be next to impossible to get an extra position as I serve the penalty now. And in the end of this first race, it's going to be a P7. Not too bad. Pretty fun. Pretty fun. Can't complain. I could see myself doing a lot of this race over the course of the week. I think that's definitely in the cards, you know? And so I decided, in fact, to do another race. Again, in the Mick Last Place account, I pull over so Janinho could get by in the Mercedes. Now, we're going to find out pretty quickly that the Merc is not the car of choice around here. Or at least it isn't for this Brazilian driver in front. I'm already gaining on him pretty quickly going up the corner. Now what I didn't anticipate here is a little bit extra braking going into the corner. So you can see I get closer, and then he brakes even more. And I'm fortunate there not to have gotten a penalty. I let him back in front, tucked back into the slipstream. And as we make our way down the hill to the next big braking zone, he's going to out-brake himself, as does quite a few other drivers, and we're going to nip up the inside and overtake our first driver of this race. Now, I don't want to repeat of what happened earlier in this lap, and I make sure not to hit Simon in front of us. Coming to the end of the lap, I get my first opportunity to get the overtake. Send it up the inside to turn 9, but I got distracted going into the last turn, so Simon got a better exit than me. And it's going to be 2 by 2 going into turn 1. He actually had the inside and he was a little bit further ahead, but I sent it around the outside and he respects the space. Now up ahead, now you're going to see a lot of bumping around. Unfortunately, these two open up the flood, and I send it through like Moses would. Going into the first big braking zone of the lap again, I get sent up the inside. I leave room, but unfortunately, he doesn't return the favor, and basically just acts like my car isn't there. But it's still early in the race, only 8.2 seconds behind the leader. And going into the next big braking zone, we catch right up with him, but I actually get 2 wheels in the sand. So at this point, it's looking like my race is in jeopardy here. But I didn't give up, and as you can see, later on in that lap, another 2 positions gained as 2 people battle and one ends up off track. Fast forwarding here to lap 3. You can see the GTR driver ahead has a half-second penalty, and our friend who knocked us off track before has a half-second penalty as well. Now the GTR gets a little bit squirrely on exit, and we're able to take that position away. And if we can get close enough to the Brazilian driver in front, we'll have a shot at inheriting P10. Now exiting turn 7, somehow we end up getting a full second penalty. I don't know exactly where that came from, as you can tell by the shock on my face. But we're going to have to keep pushing. Now Altadella goes a little bit wide in turn 9, so we send it up the inside in turn 10 and get that position, but we need to get as far away from them as possible before the next penalty zone. Now, you can see here between turns 3 and 4, the Canadian driver in front ends up in the wall on a straight, so I don't know exactly what was happening there. And then you can see Ghost is facing the wrong way, and our buddy Dan must have been a part of that as we catch right up to him. Now, he started P2, I believe, in this race. So, as we save our 1 second penalty, we're going to be side by side, and Dan sends it around the outside, going into turn 9. What a move. Kudos to him, but we got a good exit out of the final corner, so we're going to try and lay as much pressure on Dan as possible. And you're going to see here in about a couple seconds that Dan's race is going to go from bad to worse. Loses traction on the exit of turn 1 and ends up in the wall, unfortunately for Dan. Now, a couple more people with penalties are exiting turn 3. We have the slipstream of Facu Rebo in front of us. And we have the inside line going down the hill to turn 4. Now, I don't know what this maneuver is, but I think we pulled a double switcheroo, double switcheroo. I don't know what exactly to call that, but he braked, sent it up the inside, and then I sent it up on his inside, all in one corner. So, if you got a name for whatever that was, let me know what it is in the comment section. Moving forward here to the end of lap 5, we inherit one more position to move up to P5, closing on P4. But unfortunately for us, we're not able to grab that P4, but a top 5 from the back despite all that happened in this race is honestly quite remarkable. I can definitely see myself doing this race more and more this week. So if you see me in your lobby, make sure to say hi. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot. Join the Discord, and I will see you guys on track soon. Bye.